I'm so glad to welcome you here. We've got a minute or two before the top of the hour. Chester is also here. He's got all kinds of things to say. And we're going to be talking today about your new friends that are waiting for you. There are people out there who are super into what you're doing and they don't know you exist. So let's see if we can fix that today. Hi, Dobbin. Great to see you. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Hi, TikTokers. How are you? We got about one more minute before we officially start. I'm going to prep my tea here. I got the world's cutest mug last time I was in LA. Look at the I Love California bear. How sweet is that? Good. I'm such a finicky person for starting right on time, but it's always so hard because I want to start sharing right away. But no, we're gonna pace ourselves. It'll be 1 o'clock soon enough. Time is passing. Always. Or it's not, and it's all space-time. I don't know enough about that to say anything. Hey, Heather, great to see you, darling. How are you? Hi, Eileen, Butterfly Angel, Sweet Tea and Whimsy. That's the best name I've ever heard. I love that. Not nearly enough whimsy in the world. I think of that every time I am in the grocery store and there's the honey, this honey that gets sold in teddy bears. I'm like, why aren't more things packaged in teddy bears? More whimsy. Okay, we're going to start with our breathing because that's the way I like to start everything. It gets us all into the same moment at the same time, allows us to focus and concentrate and maybe have an aha today. Like this doesn't have to be the same as the rest of your day. This can be a turning point and an inflection point for you. Okay, Cat's on the microphone. Let's see if we can change that a little bit. Okay, come here, Chester. All right, we ready? Let's inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Doesn't that feel delightful? I want to remind you, you can do that anytime. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. It can change everything. Make you less reactive, less jumpy, less stressed out, less anxious, right? I've been feeling all those things. Hi, Carla, Lori, great to see you. I'm so happy Chester's here. I'm so happy Chester's here too. He's my old man kitty, and I'm always grateful for his presence. Good. So I'm talking today about a thing. Jane says cat on the microphone. Best way to start. Yeah, it's like it's a interspecial audio test. I've got a workshop happening on Saturday called the Bunny Slope, which is the cutest possible name for a training. And let me type the URL up, Bunny Slope. And so you can go check it out here. And it's an all-day hands-on training that is going to allow you to figure out how to attract those people who are your friends that you don't know are your friends yet in a really easy, affordable, low-stress kind of a way, right? I mean, I know everybody's like, get on social media, do your own lives. Well, I enjoy this kind of thing, but not everybody does. And there are ways that are simpler and easier and less energy intensive that you might enjoy learning about. Hi, Kim, great to see you. So if you are in Get It Done Lab or you are in Super Secret Book Writing Club, don't click on that because you're already enrolled. It's a bonus for you guys, so you don't have to worry about paying for it. But if you're not, you might like to jump into this little training on Saturday. And of course, everything will be recorded if you can't be there for the whole thing live. The thing that's at the kernel of all this that I want to talk about first is this fear of visibility. I hear from people all the time, like, well, I would like to grow my business, or I'd like to start my side hustle, or I'd like to do better at work, and then they have a list of reasons why they can't. And they all sound really real, really justify, "Oh, I don't really have the time, and I don't really know what I want to do, and I'm not really sure, and I'm still researching, and I'm still thinking about it, and I don't want to be one of those people, and I don't want to be pushy or salesy. I don't want to have people think that I think I'm all that." All right, that's all the chop on the top of the waves, right? Underneath, there is an underlying tidal pattern in your life, and part of it has to do with fear of being seen. I think it comes from a lot of different places. Some of us who are not exactly members of the Happy Childhood Club learned very early how to make ourselves invisible. The ability to turn invisible at a moment's notice was an important survival skill. And you probably have at least one memory from your childhood where you did that, where you disappeared in front of bullies, you disappeared in front of someone who was angry at you, you disappeared in front of a teacher. You literally disappeared. I've done it. You have too, right? Um, and if that was a recurring experience for you, uh, it's no surprise that now here we are in adulthood and we're going to say, yeah, I'm going to take center stage. I'm going to show people what I got. I'm going to get out there and glow and shine like the sun. And your inner self is like, oh, I don't think that's a very good idea at all. No, we're not doing that. No, that's dangerous. That feels life-threatening. That feels terrifying. We're not, I'll throw up all these other reasons so it doesn't sound like I'm just not doing it because I'm terrified. But bottom line, I'm terrified. The other part, even if you had the happiest childhood in the world, in which case, God bless you, please enjoy that. It makes me so happy when I hear about that. I'm like, that's good to know. Is that we are naturally afraid of visibility, right? Because we're animals. We are animal creatures. We are human animal creatures. And our human animal nature knows that if other creatures, particularly large mammals, are looking at us, they probably want to eat us. Scary, right? And our ability to assess other people and their relative level of threat is why we're still here. That's our survival mechanism. That's the primary survival mechanism. It predates language, it predates culture, it predates everything. So that's not low self-esteem or shyness. That's literal survival. So don't put yourself down for that. Again, it's part of your makeup. You're supposed to be this way. In the same way when people are like, I'm afraid of heights, I'm afraid of snakes. It's like, yes, you're supposed to be. That's correct. Some small percentage of people are not afraid of heights and snakes, and that's great. They can tell us more about those things. But for the rest of us, no, you're supposed to be, because those things can kill you. So understanding that reluctance to stand up and be seen and to be judged, to be put yourself in a position where you are willingly saying, you can judge me, is terrifying. And it's why people think that actors are crazy and why all performers must have some kind of hinge loose or be incredible ego freaks. Because they're like, why do they want that much attention? That doesn't seem right. And the fact of the matter is, let me just bring you in on a little trade secrets here. We don't want the attention. I mean, yes, some performers are ego freaks, but some chiropractors are ego freaks too. It's not a job specific designation, right? So, mostly though, we have this compulsion to tell the story. We have this compulsion to sing the song. We have the compulsion to share through movement, through dance, through writing, through whatever art, through pottery, through whatever it is. The artist needs to translate their experience into story, into whatever form they choose. And that desire transcends the fear. So it's not that we're not afraid. If you've got performers who are like, oh, I never get stage fright, they're either doing something they've done a billion times before and they're probably a little bored, or they're lying. Because of course we get stage fright. Of course we're afraid of people looking at us and judging us. Of course we are. Again, that's just literally our human nature. Heather says, fear of being seen comes from my trauma for sure. Being seen brought attention I didn't like or want. So yeah, it's hard to get past that now. Yeah, of course. Totally understandable. And again, we want to do our inner work, right? We want to do our journaling. We want to do our workshops. We want to go to therapy. We want to, do as much as we can to heal some of that so it doesn't have to make our decisions for us forever, right? But there are also ways that are maybe a little less stressful for your system to put yourself out there. Kim says yes on several occasions. Shirley says invisible child was a major feature of my childhood. Yep. Davin says I go both ways in regards to invisibility or visibility. Yep. He swings both ways. Awesome. Fear of judgment is a huge one. Right. So again, acknowledge these fears, but we don't let our fears make our decisions for us, right? We do not let fear drive the car. We say, okay, yes, I understand that I'm afraid. And I'm going to try and keep my central nervous system as calm as I can. I'm going to be fed and rested and keep my breathing going and move forward anyway, because you have a compulsion to tell the story. You have something to offer the world that is too important to be tamped down by fear. And I know that you do not want us standing around your memorial service going, well, they had a lot of really great stuff that they never put out in the world because they were afraid. You would hate that. You want people saying, wow, they really put their stuff out there. They really helped me. They really tried. I would never have known about them except they had the courage to put themselves out in the world and help people, right? And when you stay focused on the helping people part, it all gets a lot easier. I remember I was at a Keep Infusionsoft event. Some of you on this were there, where Lindsay, oh shoot, I'm not remembering her last name, brand famous. She got up in front of the room. Now, this is a room of people who run marketing agencies, people who are automation experts, computer nerds, like not exactly center stage people, right? And she said, how many of you would like to be famous? And like no one's hand went up. Everybody's like, oh, that sounds awful. No, I don't want to be famous. And then she said, okay, great. How many of you would like to be known for making a difference in your industry or in your community? And like almost everybody's hand went up. They were like, oh yeah, I think I would like to be known for being a person who made a difference in my community or my family or my industry. That sounds good. And she said, and how many of you would like to be known for making a difference in the world? And I would say probably about 2/3 of those hands stayed up. She said, yeah, that's famous. That's what famous is being known for making a difference. And I find that very relaxing to my central nervous system. Like, okay, I just want to be known for making a difference, for helping people. That's all. So let's think a little bit about what we are not afraid of, right? When are you not afraid of being judged and looked at, right? We all know that when little children or babies are looking at us in the grocery store line and they're just staring at you like we kind of love that. We look right back. We're like, hi, how are you? Why? Because they're pre-verbal. We know they're not judging us. Or if they are, it's very recessed, or it's very just surface, like, oh, sparkly. Okay. We don't mind. Like so imagine a room full of people that you're going to speak in front of. What would make it less stressful for you to get up and take center stage? If what? If you already knew that they loved you, would that help? If it was a room full of raving fans, that could help. If it was a room full of people who are respecting you, who already respect you, who already trust you, who are eager to hear your thoughts, that might make it easier, right? Lori says, I have an event coming up in 1 month from now, and I'm freaking out because I haven't gotten my stuff written yet. And I've done similar talks a lot, but now you've explained why I have the fear. I might be eaten. Yes, exactly. It's totally natural. And Lori, yeah, you've given this talk a million times. You don't need to prep a month in advance. I mean, some people need to prep a month in advance. Some people really like that, but I'm pretty sure you can. It was one of my favorite things from doing the Kolbe test, Kolbe, the Kolbe thing. One of the characteristics I have is being kind of a quick start. And they're like, yeah, no need to do your slides in advance. That's not really going to help you. And I was like, oh, that's such a relief because I'm not doing them in advance anyway. So I do much better when people just hand me the tap shoes and say, go. I'm like, okay, That's why I was an improviser for so long, right? Um, so if we had a room full of people who already knew you, already liked and respected you, and already, knew you to some degree, does that feel better? Does that feel like it might be less horrifying? Maybe a little bit. So for my money, the quickest and easiest way to do this, and I know that Heather and Dobbin will totally back my play on this, is with email. When you create an email list, you're creating your own community. You're creating your own family, your own club. And whether you have your own business or not isn't really material. Like, you can do this for your place of worship. You can do this for your favorite charity organization. You can do it for your book group. You can do it for your gym, for your school, for your your favorite thrift store, your side hustle, your friends, like whatever you want. But to have a group of people around an organizing principle, you know each other, you're all interested in the same thing. You're all interested in trout fishing. You're all interested in the work of Dorothy Parker. You're all interested in how to keep your house cleaner. You're always all interested in how to get ahead at work, whatever it is. You're building a community. You're building a campfire that people can gather around, right? So how do we do that? How do we build that campfire and attract the right people in? Because the real thing is, you don't mind being judged by people who love you. When people who love you judge you, they are either usually saying, "You're amazing. Oh my gosh, you're so great. You're so great. You are so great. Can I tell you again how great you are? Because you're so great." You're like, "Stop." Right? And if they have anything critical or helpful to say, then they'll couch it that way because they love you. So they'll say, "You know what? You are doing so great. I do have one thought for you. Have you thought about not wearing white? Because it really bounces the light. It's not the most flattering color on camera," which is true. I probably shouldn't wear white on camera. But, or they'll say, "Wow, I think you could really charge more. Or I think you should really talk to this person," or they'll, in the same way that you try to help the people you love. Right. And I'm always happy when people write to me and talk to me about something that I've done that they don't care for, or take an issue with. And if you've ever done it, you'll know the first email you get back from me says, "Thank you so much for taking the time to write." And I mean it. I'm like, wow, you thought enough of what we're up to and of our relationship that you took the time to write. That's amazing. That's awesome. Thank you. And, often if you're pointing out a typo or something I've misspoken on or said poorly, or, I'm so grateful. I always want help doing better. So, I would reframe that like, "Oh, I'm afraid of judgment," to, "I welcome judgment from wise, kind people who love and respect me." Right? I welcome that. And when you build the campfire properly, when you build the circle properly, you don't really have to worry about like trolls or people saying mean things or being whatever, hate bombed or whatever they're calling it, fired. I can't remember what they used to call it. And I'm not saying it never happens, because of course it totally does. All kinds of nefarious shit happens on the internet, but it doesn't happen very much to me. Occasionally I'll get somebody saying something a little snarky and I'm always like, "Okay, sure. This is not for everybody. Go find your people. God bless the unsubscribes. Bye." Right? Carla says, "I love that I want to be known for helping people, not to be famous." Yes, exactly. Dobbin says, "A friendly audience is helpful for certain. I just try to enjoy myself when presenting. Being loose is key." Right, exactly. And if but if you're starting out with a bunch of messages that say you don't really belong and this is dangerous, it's going to be hard to stay loose, right? Flamed. That's what we used to call it. Flamed back in the olden days. Flamed. So again, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I wouldn't let the fear of that make your decisions for you, right? Okay. So how do we set this up? How do we attract these nice people that are our friends, that we don't know are our friends yet? Well, the best analogy I ever heard was, how do you attract a cat? You can't really go yelling for cats because they don't tend to come when you call. Certainly not unfamiliar cats. Your cats might come, but other cats probably won't. Um, you can't chase them because what happens when you chase a cat? They run, right? They run. So chasing doesn't help. You can't just stand there and go, I have cool things for cats. If you're a cat, you could, no, that's not going to work either, right? So what helps? Putting out a can of cat food helps. Putting out a can of tuna helps. That will attract a cat. So what is tuna for people, right? Tuna for people is solving an immediate problem that they know they have in their own words, that they're talking about in their own words. I see this a lot with some of the coaches and healers and people I work with, artists that I work with, and you say, "What do you do?" And they say, "I offer an amethyst past life healing regression therapy modality that is rooted in the work of," and I'm like, "Stop! No one knows what you're saying. Even other amethyst past life healing regression therapists don't know what you're saying." Right? That's all the things you want to teach them once they are inside the circle, once they are inside the building. No one is waking up in the morning going, "You know what I need? I really need an amethyst past life healing regression." Now, I'm giving a hard time to the woo-woo community, and I hope you know I'm teasing with love. I'm teasing with love because marketers are just as terrible. They're like, "I help entrepreneurs build their brand and market their awareness," and like, again, nobody is waking up in the morning going, "I really got to build my brand." It's not happening. Nobody thinks that way. Only marketers think that way, right? What do people wake up thinking? They wake up thinking, "I'm lonely. I wish I had a love partner." Or they wake up thinking, This business better bring in some money today or I'm screwed." Right? So if I were the woo person, I might offer out a can of tuna that said, "Here's a checklist to capture your, divine right love partner today." If I were a marketer, I might have put out something that says, "Here's how to bring in $5,000 today." Right? Even if it sounds a little bullshitty, I'd be like, "Really? Today?" Well, if it's a free download, I would check that out, probably. Especially if it had some other comments on it of like, "Ooh, Sam's stuff is really great. She really will teach you how to get 5 grand today." I'd be like, "All right. All right, little social proof." Other people in the circle and around the campfire going, "Yeah, yeah, no, she's the real deal." I'm like, "Oh, she really does. That one, the amethyst past life thing totally worked." Really? Okay. So what is so this is what we're going to be talking about in Bunny Slope. What's your style? What's your brand? What are you offering people? What is your statement of service? What is your statement of style? So when people say, "What do?" You can say something back to them that's going to make sense to them, right? And get them interested, hopefully. Uh, and then who are you serving? Who is your exact right person? Who is the person who is really waking up in need of your services, and how are they phrasing that in their mind? And how can we create a little free can of tuna that's going to attract them to you? And again, here's the thing: when you're super specific about what that can of tuna is, this is the other way to avoid hatey, judgmenty, flamey stuff, is the people who are super into you. Some words have charisma, right? When you have a problem, you are looking for the words of that problem. So our brain is really good at finding what it's looking for. So if you've got a problem with your left foot, and then I see a thing that says, "Is your left foot giving you a problem?" I'd be like, "Oh my God, that's crazy. Yes, that's what I need." So the people who need you are going to find you because they're extra attuned already to looking for you. And the people who don't need you or don't dig you or don't vibe with you won't even find you. If I don't have a problem with my left foot, I'm not even going to notice that ad is there. I'm going to go right past it. Right. So by this way, we attract people in. So we're going to define your brand. We're going to define your target market. We're going to create your free can of tuna, whatever your little freebie is, to get people in so they give you their email address. And then we're going to write your first 5 emails, because as soon as you give them the can of tuna, you want to make friends the same way you would if somebody came to the door. You'd say like, "Oh my gosh, please come in, sit down. Can I offer you something to drink? How are you today?" Right? Same thing with email. "Oh, you like the can of tuna? Please come in, sit down. Let's talk. How are you? What can I do for you? Here, can I offer you a cookie?" Right? Is there another free thing you could give them that'd be helpful? Can you make them feel seen and heard and acknowledged? I can't tell you how often I sign up for things and then I never hear from the person. I'm like, it just happened this week, twice this week. I went to somebody's website. I was looking for a service provider. I went to their website. They said, contact us for more information. I'm like, great. Hi, I'm Sam. I'm looking for this. It's been 5 days. I've heard nothing. I'm like, do you hate money? Is that what this is? Is this a no, get that money away from me gesture? I've done that myself. No, get that money away from me. Or would you like to put out a can of tuna that have people fill out your form and then have it automatically get back to them right away so people feel seen and heard and welcomed, right? And like I said, this is, designed to help people, build their businesses, build their charitable efforts, their whatever, but it works for everything. If you want to help, more people come to your place of worship, if you want to help your PTA sell more cookies at the bake sale, if you want to help your neighborhood be more connected and look out for each other better, this is all going to work for that, right? Let's see. Heather says, I'm learning to tell myself anytime I get people who are really mean or negative, consider the source. I just tell myself that person may just be an unhappy person and I don't take it personally. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Go find your own people. I don't tolerate meanness. No assholes allowed, for sure, right? Catnip. Yes, we could also do catnip instead of tuna. Whatever works for you. Carla says, in their own words is key. Thank you for that reminder. Yeah, so often we fall into our own language, what we know they need, what's interesting to us about our work. And I'm not saying don't do that, but don't do it first, right? It's like if you met somebody at a party and you said, what do they do? What do you do? And they said, oh, I do nasal labial surgery on people's folds. And what I find is once I've cut it into and they're like, stop, no, just, I'm a doctor. It's fine. Like we can get into the details later. Right. But sometimes you guys are so busy pushing your agenda on people that again, you're chasing a cat. So here, Chester's here to demonstrate cat chasing. Hi, Lovey. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do on Saturday. It's called the Bunny Slope. You can go to therealsambennett.com/bunny slope, BUNNYSLOPE, all one word, therealsambennett.com/bunny slope. And we're going to do it together. We're going to do it in real time. By the end of Saturday, you will have your catnip tuna attraction device, your lead magnet, your freebie, and your first 5 emails written, as well as some real clarity on who you are and what you're offering and in what manner, and who your target market is, who your ideal client is. And I know you may feel like, oh, my work is for everyone. Everyone could benefit. And maybe that's true, but we can't sell to everyone, right? We really want to sell to the people who are already looking for you, right? Because there are people who are already looking for you. And what a disservice you are doing to them by letting your fear and your fear of judgment and your fear of being seen prohibit you from being able to help them because you don't put your shit out there. Right? Don't be that guy. Don't be the person that could help and doesn't because you're afraid. Be the person who says, yeah, I can help you. I can help you. And if what you're offering is truly life-changing, you might have to go in and grab them by the lapels a little bit. I've just been filling this super secret book writing club, and we've got an incredible group. Second session is tomorrow. If you've been thinking about this and you're still a little bit on the fence, send me an email right away and say, Sam, let's talk about this. I'm interested. Because I'm closing the doors pretty much after tomorrow. Because I think once we're 2 sessions in, it's like, I guess you could still join, but, I like us all to be together. But, writing a book will change your life. And that's not always what people want. They're not always ready to change their lives. Look, there's my books right there. You guys have just got the cover for the new book. It's looking really good. The new book is coming out June 18th. You're going to be hearing a lot about it, so I won't say anything more right now, but it's looking good. Heather says, yes, I would tell people I help small businesses automate their sales and marketing, and the number of them who thought that I meant I built websites. Right, exactly. Automate their sales and marketing is a phrase that means nothing to anyone who does not already know what that means. And even to those of us who do, I'm like, I still don't really know what that means, right? So you can say, yeah. Like, how you have, how you come home from an event with 30 business cards and you think you should call them, and then a week goes by and you still haven't called them, and then you're embarrassed because you haven't called them. That's what I do. Right? Talk about the problem they know they have. They know they've come back with 4 phone numbers and not called anybody. And then they bitch and moan about how their business isn't doing well and they're not making enough money. Really? Because people have been sitting there saying, please, please help me. Please, please talk to me. Right? So you've got to put it in the language that they are going to understand, and a problem they know they have. Right? Another way to think about this, and this is a $1 billion quote, people. How are they misunderstanding their problem? How are your people misunderstanding their problem? Because they are misunderstanding their problem. If they understood their problem, they would have fixed it by now, because people are smart-ish. Right? So where is it? Where is their, you can say, want to lose 30 pounds in 30 days. And then once they're then they say yes. And you say, you know what, I think you may have the thyroid issue, or I think you may have this issue or that issue, like whatever your specialty is. But you can't start talking to them about their thyroid, because they don't know they don't know about that. They are misunderstanding their problems. You got to talk to them about the problem they think they have, not the problem they have. Right? Okay. So has everybody written down this URL? therealsambennett.com/bunny slope. Bunny slope, BUNNYSLOPE, all one word. therealsambennett.com/bunny slope. You can sign up, be with us Saturday. You'll also get the recording, so you can review it anytime. You can use it over and over again. We're going to go through a bunch of worksheets. It is pretty much all day. It's 12 to 5:30 Eastern, so 9 to 2:30 Pacific. But we're going to take frequent breaks. So, it's not like 6 hours straight. I wouldn't do that to you. Nobody sits for more than 90 minutes. We work for 90 minutes, then we take a little break, then we work, then take a little break. And satisfaction guaranteed, or your tuition cheerfully refunded. So you can sign up, and if you hate it, just let me know and I'll give you your money back, and you can keep the training. I don't care. If I haven't helped you, I don't really want your money. So good. Are you feeling a little better about being seen? Are you feeling a little better about maybe I could put a social media post out there, or maybe I could, start to create a little can of tuna. Julie Simpson will be there. Yes, you will. Carla's looking forward to it. Ruby says, so many business cards. Definitely feel the guilt for not reaching out to them. Exactly. Well, Ruby, you're in lab, so you'll be there tomorrow, or at least get the recording. We can set you up. Also, I think, Ruby, you were talking about being on Tiny Letter. They went out of business. MailChimp shut down Tiny Letter at the end of February. So you need a new system. Heather says, always feel better after listening to you, Sam. Oh, thanks, babe. I'm so glad you're here. It means the world to me. Great. If anybody has any questions or anything they want to say or share, I'm wide open to that. Otherwise, I will let you go on with your beautiful day. And think about, how can you help some more people today? How can you let some more people know that you are available to help? Who can you call? Who can you text? Who can you send a little message to? I'm telling you, start doing a couple of reach outs a day. Your calendar and bank account will be full. I promise. All right. You ready to take a breath? All right. Let's do one more breath to close out this circle. Let's inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here with me. I love this time with you. And yeah, Ruby, we'll help you find a new email service provider. Don't worry. And recommends having your email set up from your website instead of your Gmail. It has to be, actually, by law now. It has to be. You can't send from your Gmail account anymore. You have to have, if you're going to send broadcast emails, you must have it come from a site, an email address that is associated with your website. So like sam@therealsambennett.com. Yeah. Good question. Thank you for asking. Okay. See you Saturday or next Thursday or sometime soon. Tomorrow if you're in Super Secret Book Writing Club. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thanks so much for being here.